It was a true story.
Tony, we have 2 weeks worth of stuff we need to go. And it is 7. Oh, I have no idea.
Hi, are you here for the meeting? Are you here for the meeting?
Yes, we are.
Okay, if you want, cool. Not much room at the bench, but
Yeah, you can, yeah.
We didn't know Steve Henry was gonna be here, we would have put on makeup and stuff.
Oh, they're here every week now.
All right. Do you want to ask? Sure. No, you're good, you're good.
Probably.
I will get one, it's all right.
okay. Oh, should be right. Has everyone had a chance to look at the previous minutes? January 17th. Do you have one of these? Oh.
I read mine.
No, I
before.
didn't even pass them
I
over.
read mine before I left the house.
Goodness.
I read mine too.
Okay, alrighty.
Oh, see where.
Can I have a motion to accept the minutes?
Oh, second, yeah.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. The bills are being sent around.
Yep.
And we have 2 visitors.
Yes, this is Heidi Lavelle and Andrew Warner that have the Barnell Cafe down there.
Oh, okay,
in
yep.
East Berkshire.
Hello.
Hi.
How are you?
Guys, come on.
Your introduction. How are you? Good evening. You tell us what to do, we'll do it. Thank you for your hospitality.
Thank you for your, all your
It
work.
was supposed to be 48 degrees later. I wish it was not tonight.
Yeah.
I brought something for everybody.
Oh, thank you.
You're trying to sweeten us up for a while.
Well, I figured you'd
Is that
know where it
private
came from.
or
I didn't
official?
tell us.
I don't know, I go by almost every day. and
That's
have
off the
stuff.
record. I'm off the record.
Yeah.
I just figured you know where I'm coming from. I have to bring something up.
Oh, I know, and it's Valentine's Day, so you just
Exactly.
kind of have to.
Exactly. We are here because, we, need some help. And, as you know, we haven't asked anybody sort of for anything at any point. But COVID has really put us up against a wall, as you can imagine, along with the issues we're having with the state,
Well,
with
the
fight at
septic.
the bistro.
Oh.
Yeah, we were told back in May, we had, an older gentleman from the state water department came out. He was out on our property for almost 4.5 hours, testing flows, doing all kinds of stuff in the bathrooms. He was heavily engaged in whatever they do with septics. And he came to us and he said, "You don't have to worry, you guys are grandfathered in." He said, "This has always been a store, plus they had the wedding business." He said, "You're fine, you're absolutely fine." From what I've been told, and this is hearsay, he retired in June. When we went to open and file, we filed for our final health permit for that final inspection and get the doors open, and we were cleared. The health inspection, she'd already been in there. She said it was a shoe-in. We were ready. She was going to pass us. She said, "You don't have that water permit." And what had happened is whoever replaced him at the state level had reopened several of his last cases, and we got caught up in that. That's what I've been told. So they said it was going to take 2 weeks, and here we are. That was in September.
Yeah.
So that's been neither here nor there. So we went back and forth with them. We're working with Roy Hango. He's our engineer. Roy's been over backwards to help. We've tried to meet all their demands. They kept moved the goalposts several times, asking, prove it's a store, get an affidavit from the previous owner. You know, we found out that the septic systems had been rebuilt. We found out in 2000, according to an affidavit from Michael Perry, who owned the property, the state said that's not good enough. We have to find out who built the septic systems on your land. So Roy called everybody in the county. Roy's 85. He knows everybody in the county pretty much, and he called all of them, and none of them had done it. But there were two big septic guys that had left sometime around 2005-06, and they must have been the ones that did it. So we've been going back and forth with the state on that, and that held us up. So we finally said, when they finally came back at us with another no in mid-November, we finally said, okay, we're just gonna open up the business anyway. Because the plan had always been to have a country store, a bistro, and a coffee house. And so we thought, well, we can at least get 2/3 of the business open. And we opened it up on November 19th, and the community support has been outstanding, which has been great. But still, we've been hit heavily with COVID because we've had tons of people messaging us saying we would come in, especially right around Christmas, end of Christmas, when the Omicron variant sprung up. All of a sudden, everybody started staying home, and I've had to lay off staff, and it's hit us pretty hard, which we weren't expecting. We had a little bump over the holiday weekend for Valentine's, but still, we had a lot of people who weren't even willing to leave their houses, and so that's made it very tough for us as a new business. You want to talk?
Sure. Well, so,
Can I just, before you start, do we have it on file for the septic system from before?
No,
She knows.
Oh.
We've become friends because I've been in here so much.
Okay, so,
all right, so she's the polite one and the good looking and the smart one. So let me preface that. We moved here about 5 years ago from the mountains of Northern California, and you can judge us based on that. But that said,
There's no palm trees.
what we learned, we didn't even actually know this, but she was drawn to this area. And there's a reason for that, because her family was the Willard family. They were all up and down the East Coast, and they actually married into the Pond family, who owned the Pond store in East Berkshire.
Which we found out after we bought it.
And we have all sorts of family records going way back saying, oh, so-and-so cousin drowned in Lake Carmi in an ice skating accident. So-and-so smuggled stuff across the border to Canada. So we had no idea that, but we came here
We found out.
5 years ago as a family trying to build something here. Community was important to us. And so we invested our life savings to basically build a community center in East Berkshire, which, as we all know, there used to be a vibrant center of community here, but that has not been for a long time. We're trying to bring that back. You know, Michael and his partner had tried to build that through the wedding business. We're trying to do that a slightly different way, and so we're trying to bring that back. So our motives are pretty good. We've invested our life savings in this thing. There's been some blocks and some unexpected stuff, but at the end of the day, we believe in community. We believe in building a foundation. We believe in employing local folks. And everything we've done over 5 years is very local. So we've hired local folks to come and redo the plumbing and the electrical and the contracting. We've built many relationships with local folks to source things from local farms to provide for the store that we're now standing up. And so we're asking for a little bit of help, but we put a lot of our own skin in the game.
A lot of our
Yeah,
skins.
and both money, time, energy, etc. over the past few years to make this happen. We think East Berkshire is amazing. So there's so many things. We're close to J.P.E.G, we're close to Enosburg, we're close to Richford. There's so many positives, and we think this deserves the attention that's been neglected for a long time. So we're trying to bring this back to life. The Pond store, as we know, was the center of the community for a long time. The feed store, you know, provided things to farmers. We have handwritten ledgers that were provided to us in pencil over 100 years of transactions of the community. So-and-so bought so many seeds from the Pond store 100 years ago.
Mr.
We've
Purley
got
came
that.
in and bought 5 dozen eggs, I mean, that's where
Yeah,
all those records.
we've got all that stuff. And so we're trying to just bring that forward and be positive. But at the same time, while we put our part in, we've encountered some blockers and COVID and everything else. So we're asking for a little bit of help, but we've also provided our own skin in the game. So we want to make this a potent community off-ramp. You know?
So when you say you're looking for a little help, what are you looking for?
Well, there's 3 areas where, I mean, we wanna see, sort of see if any of them interest you. One is, we have the COVID help that we need we had employed 10 people when we started. And we've had to cut most of them back. We're down to 3 right now. And I just had to put another one on part-time. But everybody was busy. I mean, we've got bakers, we've got all kinds of different people making stuff for us and doing stuff. The second area is our building. We've, as you know, renovated them to a great extent. The roof, we just discovered has some really bad leaks in it, and unfortunately they're frozen right now. But I'm worried come spring when the melts come. And the other thing we discovered is that our heating system in the store, we put in pellet stoves, and they're working fine in the side, the feed store side, but in the main store with the high ceilings, even though we have ceiling fans, it's just, it works, those pellet stoves work till about 15 degrees, and under that, it's freezing in there. Like behind the main counter, we have a thermostat, and it's 39 degrees behind the main counter. And so I need to get another heating system in there, quick. Because people are like, oh, you know, we've got a big propane, one of those big propane flames heaters. And we have to light that up for about 4 hours every morning when it's super cold. And even then, it just takes the chill off it.
So I'm just gonna let you know though, I haven't put it out there yet, and I haven't read a lot on it, but Efficiency Vermont is actually doing a grant program, and they're doing a webinar on, how to, take care of some of these issues and with grants and stuff like that they're putting out there. But I just got it today, so I did not read up on it. That's one thing that I will read up on, because it could be something that you guys could actually benefit
Well,
from.
from what I've heard of it, it's not for-profit businesses. That's what I was led to believe. But if that's the case,
Like I said, I haven't really read up on
Okay.
it, but
Yeah.
We're open to any ideas. We're just trying to get everything going.
So you live in where the store is, you live in that building, or you
we
live
live
in the
in
house?
the yellow house with our 4 kids. And our daughter, one of our daughters lives over the feed store in the apartment.
Basically, it's been owned by, we're the 3rd family that's owned it. I mean, the Pond family owned it, Michael and Jeffrey owned it, now we own it. Over 150 years, that's something.
The third thing we want to do, tell you the third thing we want to do is in the carriage barn that has the big, we put a huge commercial kitchen in there. I don't know if you've driven by, but there's a huge, massive hood coming out there. When we get the bistro going, because we have a senator now, Corey Parent is working with the water department to fight for us. So we're pretty hopeful that this is actually going to happen now. We plan on turning that, what was the wedding barn, we're planning on turning that, insulating it, but with hopefully barnwood, and making that into a lodge-like space and turning that into a dinner place. With sort of burgers and wings and creating some lounges and just having it be, pizza and that kind of stuff. Because we're trying to basically create what's not here, and bring that to the town. So that's the third thing we want to do. So basically we have the COVID, we have the building needs some help, and we'd love to expand and create another business for Berkshire and create more jobs.
What do you see as far as the COVID part of that? I'm not sure.
The staffing issues that we've had, and just the lack of traffic that we've had. We don't have Canadians coming in. I mean, we've had a ton of just lack of, this should be the height of ski season. And even though our store is priced for Berkshire residents, if you've been in there, you'll know it's a very fair price point. I've really worked hard to make it so it's a place where locals can go. And we've had it. We get a lot of great old farmers coming in, and they're buying birthday gifts for their wives. And I get old farmers telling me, they're like, this place is fairly priced. I had one guy say that to me, and I thought, that's cool. That's the highest praise I could get. And if the tourists come, that's just gravy. But with the locals scared, and then the tourists not coming, I'm hurting.
We thought the Canadian border would be a lot stronger by now, it's just not set.
And I didn't expect Omicron, I thought,
Yeah, I think that's kind of,
and I'm one of 2 businesses, open businesses to the public in Berkshire. So it's, that's why like I said, I haven't asked for help before. We've done all this through private funding, through Community National Bank.
anybody have any questions for him?
I was in there today, bought some chocolates.
I'm so sorry for your loss.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I've done it, and I think people have done it, and, the things that you seem, you're asking for, I'm not so sure what the town can do as far as, your roof and, the heating system, things like that, COVID. We can't control the border, I mean, it is open, people can come down, it's just they're just not coming down. I mean, there's some people coming out,
Right.
because I live in West Berkshire, and on the weekends, I see Canadians coming down to go skiing. I live near the Phoenix house, so it's like they're going that way, and they're not stopping, there's some.
Some are,
Yeah, so,
but not the numbers that,
Is there any available grant type money that's available?
we were told, that the city of Berkshire had been given some ARPA funds, and so that's why we thought we would come and ask, because some of this stuff qualifies under ARPA funds, and so as one of the only 2 businesses, the other one's a giant company. We're just a little
Well, we
bit-
do have lots of businesses in, you have.
Well, I know, but I meant
Phoenix
open to
House,
the
you
public,
have- yeah, I'm
trying
just
to
saying,
be a
like, as
community,
in-
just open to the public. I know there's tons of businesses here,
Okay.
I get that, but I just mean one that, puts a face on Berkshire, because people stop and see it,
We have a list of some people that have come to ask for art funds, we need to use some for here in this building. And, there's another person came in as far as the daycare goes, things like that. I'm trying to think what else it was, but we haven't finalized anything yet.
Okay.
I'm sure we can look into it.
Yeah.
We haven't really got into the,
No.
where anything that's can go or go yet, you've been studying,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. And in the town report, I think there's a questionnaire about where would you like to see ARPA funds go, things like that, so that,
Yeah.
and you get a few extra, put it on your counter. And people come in,
We just figure we're trying,
Yep.
our motivations are good,
Yeah.
we're trying, and we thought we'd just bring it in front of you all, we're open to your ideas.
Yeah, we're just trying to say we need help, and we're trying to keep this business open, but it's getting dicey.
Yeah.
I know, oh, by the way, chocolate, oh, just kidding.
Yeah,
They had a lot of nice little gifts and stuff.
Yeah.
Tobacco,
we've got 99% of our goods are all made in the United States, a ton of them are made in Vermont.
Yeah.
Our whole counter of chocolates and fudge and pastries, that's all made in Vermont.
All the Vermont, all the fudge comes from Vermont.
It's not a good diet, but. No, I got some frustrations.
I've been doing stop.
There's no judgment.
Good for your job here.
Well, we just wanted to put that out there for you to
Good.
consider and to give you
No,
an
I
idea of
looked
the
it up
things we
and
need.
see what, under those funds, what, what
Okay.
Because it,
they do fall under for
yeah,
categories.
the regulations have keep changing, and finally the federal government, I think maybe a month ago, kind of finalized their criteria as far as our.
And loosen them up a lot.
Loosen them up a little bit. Before there was like, we couldn't send a lot of them because we don't have a lot of infrastructure and stuff, so, but now they've opened it up.
Okay.
We can look into it, and
Okay. Well, thank you for listening to us. We appreciate it.
thank you for coming to Berkshire.
There's no harm, no foul, we just want to be good citizens in the community, and we just thought we brought it here. So.
No, it's good to see
I
something.
figure that the worst thing you can say is forget it, but at least we try, because we would not have come if we didn't really need help. But we've almost put $500,000 into this project, and we can't do any more.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you for your
No,
time.
Thank
we
you
will
very
look
much.
into it,
We'll
yeah.
look into it for you. Thank you.
Well, thanks, guys, especially on Valentine's Day.
Those 4 kids, remember?
That's right.
It's all about sacrifice.
Have a good evening. I'll look that up and we'll have that for No, we're good.
Same old,
Sand's holding out, we're all good.
Sand's holding out, we probably take grader out maybe tomorrow, get a few ruts.
Case it.
Cleaned up. It's done all smooth.
Your wild and scenic grant is being
Yeah.
reviewed.
Oh, is it?
So paving grant, Stu and, well, I'll look it up, but whatever, yeah.
Yeah.
Not the one we got, the new one. you
Another
know
one.
about. Okay, yes, this is for this year, that or a structures grant, one of the two, I'm just letting you know that they are gonna do them again this year, so. But we can,
Well,
it's just a reminder that they're out there, and I think it's April though, so. I'll take a second
Oh.
look,
yeah, I think it is,
okay,
the 25th.
yeah, something like that, so.
We'll take a look at it.
I sent it to you though in an email.
I think
You
that's where
probably-
that's where the April is.
Yeah, that's why I said, I wasn't too concerned, cause it wasn't due like right off, so.
Well, the only thing that, you know, like the structural grant is, it's hard to make up something.
Yeah, cause we haven't had the hydraulic studies, yeah.
And I didn't know nothing about the paving grant, but.
Well, the paving and the structural is the same, you can choose one or the other or do both.
And then you have to figure out where
But we got
the
the-
paving,
We got the paving grant last year, so we just basically are putting it in,
yeah,
cause I don't think we'll get one this year, you know?
no, probably not. We just gotta figure out where I wanna put it.
Yeah.
So you're just putting in.
Water Tower Road,
Water Tower Road. Yeah, I guess I know now.
Yeah. So you're gonna pay?
We got a grant this year.
for the
to do
Berkshire
From
Center.
the four corners, a mile of it going down this way. And gotta figure out how far that's gonna take us.
And then finish the rest.
And then finish the rest and maybe either come up and go from the four corners back toward West Berkshire or do some on Water Tower.
Water Tower Road. Not sure where, but it's pretty bad shape.
It's, yeah, it's not bad.
This would be finished.
Oh,
Anything else? No, thank you. Ron, let's do the clerk.
yes, I have a lot, no, it's actually simple stuff. Jolly Store's liquor license, we just need you guys to approve it and sign this, please.
Approve it.
Yeah.
I second that motion.
I second.
All those in favor? Aye.
So, yeah, there's room for everybody to sign under the approved side,
Oh.
please.
Do they have a liquor license? Did we okay?
No, they can't because they cannot serve food or alcohol because they don't have a septic system to hold that amount of people in there.
But didn't we okay one for when they opened?
When they open, yes,
Oh,
but they can't get that because they,
Until they.
Yeah.
You'd think the state would have.
yeah. So our tax map contract with CAI, they did go up $100 this year, but we still put that amount in the budget, so it's still, I mean, it is what it is. It's not-
So how much is it?
It's $1,000, it was $900 last year, and we always budgeted a little extra just in case something else came up, so there's still $1,000 in the
Okay,
budget.
so we need a motion, Denison, for the tax map maintenance contract from CAI Technologies.
I move.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
This one, you all sign it?
You all signed? Yeah, well,
Four of us in here.
yeah, yep, it works. So the next thing is you guys have already approved Enosburg as our ambulance, we just need the motion to sign a contract, and that's only one of you, so.
I'll make a motion.
Second. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
And you, Vince, are the only one that needs to sign this right here. So Danny, this is the next thing, this was the driveway for Mark and Amanda, which I now realize is Harnez's driveway, that didn't even need a culvert anyway, so,
No.
okay,
Didn't need a culvert.
so we just.
And actually, he didn't need permanent, it was.
I know, it was already a
Sorry,
driveway,
driveway.
but, so, we just need approval from the select board for a driveway that's already existing, but that's all right.
Do we have to approve for them going under the road too?
I'll get to that one,
That's
yeah. So, yeah,
We need a,
that's next.
oh, this is where.
Yeah, this is the driveway for
Driveway permit for Mark and Amanda St. Pierre, we need a motion.
Janet Powers.
John Powell.
Yeah, a motion.
Second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Okay, so, as you guys all know, with all of this stuff here, right here. So Tom Hernandez dropped off a letter. He did call and he did drop off a letter. He says, we are asking permission to have a licensed borer to go under the water tower road with a 3-inch sleeve from the village of Enosburg's main water line located at 1106, which is Sid's across the road anyway, formerly owned by Dick Powers. This work would not be started until April, as agreed with the village of Enosburg.
Where's the village of Enosburg water line?
It's across the
Right
road at
across the
Sid's,
road.
On Sid's?
on
Yeah.
Sid's land, yeah.
Well, it's
Comes
on the right
out.
of way. It's in the right of way.
Yeah, well, just meaning it's
On that.
Yeah,
on that
it's
other
on-
side of the road, yeah.
And where, is he the last one on it, or Sid?
I don't think Sid uses
No,
it.
the-
I think it's just there.
It's there, I don't know, so there is people in Berkshire that do get water.
Oh, okay.
They named 3-4 places. When that was put in,
Right.
like, I think probably the Veal Barn has it, a couple of the others.
Oh, okay.
And the village of Enosburg is okay with it. They just wanted permission from the select board before they had somebody go out there and go under the road.
Yeah,
So they're gonna do the work?
They're gonna have somebody that's licensed to do it, come in and do it. Yeah.
Do I have a motion for that?
I move to allow
Boring.
St. Pierre Hernandez to drill under the road.
Second.
Sure.
Any discussion on that? All those in favor?
Okay.
Okay with that, Danny?
So the next thing we have is, no, actually, I just needed that. They didn't have anything, they just wanted the minutes when they were done. So the GE shares, we had to get a bond through GE in order to get the certificates on the ones that were lost and all of that good stuff. All I need is for you guys to say that I'm okay to be the representative to sign the paperwork so that they can issue us the new bonds. But they won't do it without you guys saying that it's
There's
okay.
that pillar that you want me to sign right away.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I didn't want to get lost.
There you go. Thank you.
I move to allow Emily to sign the papers to release the bonds.
Yep. We had Vaughn look it all over and
Yeah.
so, yeah.
Got a second on that one?
Yep.
You-
Yep,
On
thank you.
the approved side.
Any discussion on the GE information? Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
And we all need to sign this.
Yeah. So the next thing I have is, do you guys remember when we discussed the bee pollinating little thing that we said would work over there between the school and here, on that little area? It was a long time ago.
Yeah, I remember vaguely.
But we said that, you know, it would be all right for them to put in some.
Oh, flowers and stuff.
So the gentleman would like to come out here and meet with somebody and go over there and look at it. So I'm not exactly sure where. Do we just have them come up and tell us where the best place for them is over there?
Is this like in the spring, he's gonna come?
Yeah. Hopefully not more.
Right.
I don't mind going out there,
Good
but,
time for these.
but I don't know exactly where the lines are or whatever, but we can figure that out.
It's not hard.
Yeah, so that's why I said I'll just, yeah, he just wanted to come out here and, so I just wanted to make sure you guys were still okay with,
Danny?
Yeah. we can go out, yeah.
Yeah, we can do it.
Okay,
Sounds
no,
good.
sounds good, thank you. Okay, so I'll just let him know that whenever he's ready in the spring, that it's fine.
When's he coming?
Wait,
I was wondering.
I thought I had it here, but then I looked and I'm like, I don't, yeah, okay, right here, nope, doesn't say,
No.
nope. Patrick Kitchen is his name. Yeah. Okay, so now we're just on to the garage.
Nope, how about the mask mandate, thing, number 6?
Oh, that's right, yep,
We instituted it for a month,
Yep.
and so now we have to either renew it or drop
I make a motion we drop it. It's all right with Emily. If it's all right with Emily.
I don't mind, most people that come in here but we never have more than 1 or 2 people in here at a time anyway, so being able to stay apart is actually not a problem at all, you know. We all have different desks, so we don't worry too much about, of course, me and
it.
Jamie.
It's your building, so it's up to you.
And
You
some
worried
people
about the
come
old people still?
Huh?
You still worried about the old people in here still?
No, because Jenny stays at her desk most of the time, she doesn't go near too many people, so. You know, I mean, but it's, like I said, it's up to you guys, I don't mind either way.
in.
I do know that, I will let you know that obviously when we go over to the school for the town meeting next
We will have a
time,
mask.
we will, yeah.
You can't even,
Unless they drop theirs.
the ace guy, you can't even drop off stuff around the mask.
Yeah, so, okay, but yeah, like I said, it's up to you guys. What
Do you have a second on? Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, thank you.
All right, now you're on to,
New garage.
so, Andy has been talking with, I'm trying to think of his name, that's where I'm like, where was this company from, I'm sorry.
Pennsylvania,
Okay,
Coral Field.
oh yes, Coral Steel, so they just had a couple questions, we're just looking for a quote, just to see, you know, what's out there. And they said, how wide is the mezzanine in the building?
Yeah.
Which we assumes the overhead.
Over, yeah, you know, like over the office space.
Oh, like that.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
That
what
could
are
be
you
the-
looking for up there, if, you
The
know what I mean?
whole, I would think the whole space, you know,
Yeah.
whatever,
The light.
yeah, the 60
Yeah, whatever the offices are,
or-
the bathrooms should all be,
Should be all
to
the same.
maximize our square footage.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
Okay,
it
so
would
we'll
be
just
over
say the
all
same-
offices.
yeah.
okay, nope, that's fine.
And it'd probably be as wide as those.
And as wide and as deep as the offices, so.
According to Marty, he says like if we, once we send them this information, they'll send us a design and then we can make, so.
Yeah, whatever, yeah.
Good.
So, okay, so what roof panels do we plan on using?
The roof panels,
So I think they're, you know, are we doing steel, I mean, I don't know what they mean by that, it just says, what roof panels should we use? Maybe I have to ask them what they're,
yeah, I have no
okay.
idea.
Yeah,
We know our choices, yeah.
I can't remember if that's a slope they wanted or if, cause later on in there they asked about if we
Well, there is,
we
are they
wanted to.
doing corrugated steel, or are they doing,
Yeah, stand and
what's
seam.
the, stand and seat, or then
Yeah,
there's
that was
the,
one of the questions.
so I think that's
somewhere.
what they're asking.
Are we just regular
Or
burger?
you-
Stands and seeds,
Yeah.
spicy.
Yes. Okay.
And
So-
what, you know, like, do you wanna do a salt box, or do you just wanna do a standard, you know, they call it a standard roof, you know? The salt box is like that guy wants, you know, the long, and then it just,
Like
yeah.
our commodity.
Oh, yeah, you're
Yeah.
talking the roof being slanted back
We can
instead
either
of
do that,
like
or
a-
we can just do the gable type roof.
Or you could just have it lean all one way, right?
Yeah, that's what I mean, and then it all
The
falls
shed,
off the
yeah,
back,
the
and you
shed
don't have to
roof.
plow anything in the front.
Then all the
It's
rainwater and everything will go down the back, and just the water you guys push out from washing the floor and trucks and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's,
Yeah, preferably the snow goes off the back in front of the doors, right?
Well, that was the only thing with your salt box.
Salt box, that
Yeah.
snow's gonna
Yeah.
fuck off. So-
Well, no, because it comes out so many feet and then goes like that,
It'd be
so
less.
it's not right in front of the door, 4 or 5 feet away.
So you can plow
It's
it
still
off.
basically, just you don't have to worry
Doesn't
about
build up.
being on the
I know
door.
Fairfield's hangs out over,
Yeah,
their roof, I think is like this, and it hangs out 3 or 4 feet away from, it gets the water away from the doors.
yeah.
Or they can go, everything can go to the back, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wonder which.
The only
I wonder if
thing
there's a
with
difference
that that is you have to make sure it's tall enough so when they
Yeah,
wanna
we're
lift
gonna
their
have
dumps, that it's gonna
Yeah.
make
There's
sure
an
that
expense
it's.
difference on that end of it.
Well, they already know, what is it, inside ceiling's gonna be what, 16 foot? Cause the doors are 14 foot
Yeah.
high.
That was 18 foot, but,
We do have it written down, I'll have to
Yeah.
look, okay.
Yeah,
I'll just check doors on it, or check roof
they're inside roof
size, yeah.
ceiling.
Alright, so their last question is there going to be insulation in the building? Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Another one of the questions was, do we
What
wanna,
are our values?
well, what our value, and do we wanna buy it or have them, you know, we might as well let them, yeah. And, I can't remember what Marty was saying, like R19 or whatever, but you can tell them, you know, get 20, 30 below, whatever we need.
Yeah, what's
Yeah,
the
this ain't
standard for the state of
Pennsylvania.
Vermont?
Yeah,
Okay, so we'll just say, what do you suggest?
yeah, you know, 'cause-
Okay,
Yeah, you just 30 below here.
yeah,
what is it now, standard for a house is what? Almost 30 in the ceilings?
yeah.
I mean, the tighter you get it, the more fuel savings.
Well, like when we
That
do
was
a
the end of your
final,
question.
we'll have to get someone who knows. Another
Well,
thing he
would
said,
that
like
be
on
better?
your, if you wanna extend the building, that end of the building, have it set up, so
So
if
we
you,
could add on.
yeah, instead of doing it later, cause then you'd have to jack it up and slide the beams in. He said for a few thousand more, you put all the beams in there, and then if you wanna add on, it's there. So.
So is he pretty easy to work with so far?
Well, he doesn't, so, he used to work for these guys, so he was the one telling me.
Oh, okay.
I wish these guys would call so you could talk to them, but they've been just basically emailing. But we'll get, like I say, it'd be nice just to get a price.
An
Yeah,
idea,
Yeah, yeah. You know, cause then we're gonna have to call like, the cement guys. You know.
so that was the next thing we discussed too, though, is if we're gonna go something along these lines, should we hire an engineer? Because somebody, like, these guys are only gonna come in and do the building, we still don't have anybody that's gonna do these permits. Or, do you know what I'm saying? They're still all-
Mike and them guys, didn't he say something about the permits or? Yeah,
Didn't you say something about how much permits? I must have, somebody mentioned it one meeting.
yeah.
But he can
does
come
it.
out here and
He
do the
does it.
designs, but he's not, he doesn't do the.
He
well,
probably
can.
knows somebody.
No, yeah, wasn't it, they said the guy that worked in the same building, he did.
I thought he had a friend,
Yeah,
weren't
he
we?
did,
I
yeah.
heard of one of his friends, yeah.
Were we thinking,
But the one that did the one for Lost Nation
Yeah,
too
that-
was really nice to work
I
with.
think he worked with
Oh,
Jarvis.
he's the one that worked
He
with,
worked with Jarvis.
yes,
In the
yes,
same
you're
building.
right.
Yeah.
And he's the one we worked with on the Lost Nation culvert, and he actually was really good.
It was good, and the nice thing about it is, if you wanna hire, if he hires the plumber,
Mhm.
we don't have to take it out on bid.
He does all of
He
that.
does all the hiring.
Yeah.
Oh, so he's gonna be like a general, you know, clerk of the work deal.
Yeah, it's,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he
Yeah,
is. He
oversee.
would do everything.
yeah,
He would
He
do the
knows
permitting, and
oversees
he
the
hires every,
Guys to
The
put
guy that
cement
I
in,
took his
Yeah.
place, that's what he
Yeah.
did, he was here like at the school and stuff. And he would be there, but he like, he
Yeah.
managed, you know, kept, make sure that everything got done and done the way it was supposed to be.
I think the engineer would be the way to go.
Yeah.
Cause Harrison, we'll have to get them to engineer the cement. I imagine the cement isn't gonna be cheap.
Cement work would be expensive.
Yeah.
Put him in the car, at least.
And then we got a cement guy right across the road, so.
don't tell Chucky,
Well, I don't know, Chuck, did he done something that big or not?
I don't know.
Find out.
Who did our other one over here? Oh, it was Corey. Never mind. You're right, it was, yep.
What other one there? Bill,
No,
Or
so the
same-
guy that's building this cement house across the road is the same one that did the cement work for our
Same.
sand shed.
And that's
Yeah.
gonna be another
Corey
story of
Laughlin.
cement, right?
Huh?
That's gonna have to be a second story with cement, right?
his house,
Oh, I
yeah.
have no idea where he's
Yeah,
at.
I think he.
Cause the rods went
Yeah.
through.
Somebody
I think he put a
was-
second story on.
Somebody was talking about that, said he's gonna do a second story with some.
Oh, that'd be interesting.
Yeah,
Cause the rods and everything that were there when they did it, they stuck way up. I said, he's gonna do, that's gonna be 2 floors.
You've already got a cement house, yeah.
Who's,
Keith's,
Rondo's,
who?
Rondo's. That was
Keith's little house on the, Horseshoe Road.
George, on Horseshoe
Yeah.
Road.
Huh.
That's a concrete, the forms were put up, is it like styrofoam forms?
Yeah.
You filled it full of cement?
Yeah.
More than 1 floor or just one?
That's just
It's a single, yeah.
Big story.
That's the last thing.
Okay, the meeting next time, it's next week? No,
The
28th.
28th, it's the same as the, annual meeting over at the
So
school.
we have to have it at 6 o'clock here, select board meeting, because the annual meeting is at 7 up over at the school. So the 28th, they'll be here at
All
6 o'clock.
14 people are gonna come?
Yeah, I know.
Are they doing the school meeting too, or no?
No, the school meeting is next week on the 23rd, I think it is.
No, is that just gonna be an informational meeting?
Yes.
It's not gonna be like,
It's gonna be run by the vice chair because the chair won't be here.
who's the vice chair this year?
Yeah.
You were Anthony.
Well,
I'm only kidding, I'll ask Anthony if he will run the meeting.
Do Corona for the.
Wait a minute, I need at least 3 people
Yeah.
there.
I'll be there.
Okay, no, I don't see a lot of people showing up, but hey, yeah, we figured the school's got more room just in case, and they're only gonna set up a few chairs, I told them maybe 10 chairs, and we'll just use bleachers and that's it.
The school, their meeting is partly Zoom, I think, or
The whole thing
the whole
is,
thing
yeah.
is Zoom, so
Yeah.
they're not using the school.
Mhm. So they're not, yeah.
They must be getting their money, ARPA money.
Yeah.
They're starting to buy stuff right
Well,
now.
last day on the Valancourt bill, it was 800, was that for all steel or did they do some work?
No, it said labor on truck 3, inspection on truck 3, yeah. I think $100 of it, $120 something was steel.
Yeah, it shouldn't be that much, you know.
Yeah, and the rest was for fixing up the truck for inspection.
So any other things to bring up, discuss? Now, I won't be here at the next meeting, so if anybody else would like to be the chairperson.
Yeah, when we vote, well, that would be, we won't be here.
Are you leaving us again, Max?
Yeah.
He does this every year, he takes off.
He has, yes.
What do you do the whole month of March, or? Yeah.
Well, my wife doesn't like March.
No.
She doesn't like March here.
Well, it's icy,
So was a wife months ago.
yeah, it's inconsistent, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, if you're not gonna be the vice chair at the meeting, you can come up here and run the election. Right?
I talked to Dad tonight, he's like, this is, cause he's still in Florida. Of course, it's gonna be 50 Thursday. I said, Sap's going, oh, yeah, boss. Cause I don't think he wants to come back yet.
Yeah.
And I says, okay, but it says Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday next week in the 40s.
Oh, so he's gonna come home this
I
weekend.
says, so he's, oh, really? That's,
Oh, he won't let you do it unless he's here?
no.
Well, it's cold down there, it's like in the 50s, so.
Yeah.
For Florida. So I have a motion to close